Hello, this is Mark Keene from Keene Engineering. I'm here to show you a brand new product we've been working on for a couple years now. This is the Keene new Crevice Trowel. It works excellent for use with the metal detecting. It's really the ultimate tool that you could ever have for going out panning and sluicing and prospecting. It also does an amazing job in the garden. So really one of the ultimate tools that you could ever ask for.
Just a little closer view now that I've been using it. You can see I have a stainless steel tip on the back side, so I can really get in there and dig, and even in abrasive conditions, the tip should hold up. Also, the tip is replaceable too. Eventually, we may have a couple different types of styles of tip. I really do like the long handle as well, because when you grab the handle, you go back a couple notches, and with your scratching and cracks and crevices, what it's going to do is it's going to keep your knuckles back from dragging on the ground. So it's got some nice safety features built into it. Also, because it's got a pretty robust tip on it, when you grab with two hands and you pound it into the ground, it's got a really nice, comfortable palm pad right here. Also, because again, back to the robust tip, we can cut through weeds and roots and stuff like this. Watch this. If I want to cut through the roots here, I could take it, pound through it. And just slice it through the roots. It really does dig nice. And I love that powerful push when I really want to get into the material. That double grip, an amazing difference. Something I noticed with a standard conventional trowel, when I push it into the ground, I can only apply somewhere between, like, let's say 15 and 30 pounds. With this push palm system here, I can apply over 100 pounds of pressure into the dirt. So if you're out metal detecting or something, you have a lot of cutting force, you want to do a nice clean plug of grass, or you want to...
It'd work really good for grass at the park also.
It'd be awesome, and it'd be clean too. One tool, if you want to dig out cracks and crevices. Works pretty good, the claw. I'm actually kind of surprised how well it works.
Hi, I'm Pat, and this is a Keene Crevice Trowel. This is one of our newest and latest products that we use for prospecting as well as metal detecting. It's got a super long handle with a stainless steel crevice attachment on it. And for metal detecting, it's got a depth gauge, so it tells you how deep that you're actually digging in the ground. And it's super heavy duty, and you can pry on it. But one of the nicest features is it has this palm pad on the side of it where you can actually apply quite a bit of force to force this trowel into it. You know, I used to carry a knife when I used to go metal detecting so I could cut a plug, but with this trowel you really don't have to. It's super strong, you can pry with it, and it's a lot safer. So we're gonna start up our metal detector here. Found a target. With this, you can use a lot of force, and you can jam it into the ground, even a real hard ground. We try to cut a plug so you don't actually kill the grass, especially if you're doing it on your own. Okay, got the plug out. Okay, I think we found our target. Look at that. And I found my coin. Another thing that's nice is if it's in the trowel, you could actually wave it over the coil, and since the handle's so long, your stainless steel crevice tip is far enough away from it where it doesn't pick it up with the side of the metal detector coil. Great tool for metal detecting.
All right, I'm here to show you another aspect of the Keene Crevice Trowel. It really is a great universal tool. If you're going to go out prospecting and metal detecting, yes, this is the ultimate tool. But for just around the house, for general gardening and stuffing, it's an awesome tool as well. Primarily because you have this comfortable palm pusher on it, it becomes a very versatile gardening tool. For example, if I want to, this is pretty hard dirt here, and if I want to cut into the earth, I just push my weight into it, and I use the double palm, and I can actually cut into the soil by just throwing my weight into it. And you'll notice that I'm using both hands to penetrate the material. Now that I want to dig out the material, I can even come in here and just kind of dig it out without too much trouble. But if I want to expand my walls, I just push into it, put some weight into it, and I can cut myself a nice, clean plug out of the dirt. And I am cutting through roots, and it's actually, since this is somewhat of a sharp blade here, it penetrates right through it. So I really like it. I mean, how easy is that? All right, so let's just smooth this out here real quick. Let's say if you have like a small garden at home or herb garden, and you want to dig some furrows or trenches in like your garden, you can use this end here to dig some nice trenches out. And if you run across something hard or a root, this will just cut right through it. So, I mean, how cool is that? I mean, it digs like no other shovel. It builds trenches. If you get a rock stuck in there, you can pry the rock out. I mean, for a single tool, if you had to go gardening, this would be your ideal scenario. All right, I'm going to just go over a couple quick features of the new Keene Crevice Trowel. The main thing I'm going to cover right here is how much force and power you have. See, most shovels, like something like this, or even a steel hand trowel, if you push on a scale, you can maybe get it up around maybe about 25, 30 pounds of force. And honestly, if I take my other hand to it and I put both hands to it, which is not comfortable, I can get a little bit more, but the shovel folds in the front. Even with a steel shovel, it's not going to penetrate that well. You just can't get the force to push it down. Completely different deal. You have a big, comfortable handle, ergonomically correct. It really fits your hand, and you can put it in a couple different positions, which is nice. You've got on the back your palm pusher right here. Again, ergonomically correct, a palm pad that you can push with the shovel. So this fits my hand in just about any position. And I can smack it, I can push it, I can throw my weight into it. So you really have a powerful cutting force. And see, part of the cutting of it is that we use a very exotic plastic, and it works really good. It's very hard, but it's very pliable, which is nice. You'll never break the shovel. So when I go to apply with this shovel, it's a lot easier to hit that 30, 35 pounds. But when I really want to dig with the material, I'm going to take this, I'm going to double palm it, I'm going to grab it here, and I'm going to grab my palm pad, and I'm going to push on it this way. And I can actually throw my weight into it, and I can exceed 100 pounds, which is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to show you another important facet of our new shovel. We're making the shovel out of a very expensive plastic. It's called a Polylac ABS resin. This is probably one of the toughest and most expensive plastics you can buy in the market. Most of the shovels you see out there are made out of like an ABS plastic or a simple polypropylene or something. This has this exotic plastic, and it's virtually bulletproof. Now, I've already played with this one once before, but I'm going to show you something. I'm going to chuck this up in a vise. Okay. And I'm really going to throw my weight into it. Okay. That's just about everything I can get. That it way exaggerates what anybody could ever do in the field. Now, one of my fears in engineering this unit is I was concerned about the back tip to break. So this is a good test here. I've already tried this one a couple times. In fact, it's even with the fatigue of doing this test a couple different times, it seems to be handling it just fine. Okay, so I'm going to take this thing with pretty much all my strength. I'll come over here. I'll pull it out as hard as I can. It's not going to break. I mean, literally, I probably put in, you know, probably close to 100 pounds of upward force, and I can basically throw all my weight on it this way, and it may deform it ever so slightly, but you know, it's deformed now, it's ugly. But the point is, this thing's not going to snap on you. And I was really concerned if a customer ever tried to do any prying that he might break it, but now I don't worry about it. I'm not recommending using a pry bar, but if you have to pull through small rocks, you definitely got the power to do it. And this is your conventional plastic shovel, and I mean, honestly, it's almost embarrassing to show you what would happen here. You know, that's not very impressive. But even with a metal shovel as opposed to this is still going to do a much better job than anything else does, because you got your scratching, crevice tip. You've also got the long handle, so if you're scratching something, you can drag it along. Your knuckles aren't dragging on the ground. You've got a nice measurement system, both in inches and metric on the back. Another interesting thing is that this is an American-made shovel. We make it right here in our factory. If you look back there, you can't see it completely, but we have our own injection mold machine. So these are made right here in Chatsworth, California. And again, we're using the best, most exotic plastic we can find, because we're not trying to build a cheap shovel. We're trying to build the best shovel in the world. And I love this thing. And every time I take it out, I love it even more.